Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the most important, perhaps the most important live stream or the most important segment on YouTube explaining the Trump Jr. meeting and how utterly pathetic the mainstream media is in discussing it. Essentially, and to my super chat, thank you so very, very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Thank you. This is going to be an epic live stream, and I appreciate all your support. Now, number one, there is nothing illegal about the Trump Jr. meeting. Nothing illegal. The only illegal part is Hillary Clinton using an unencrypted private server outside the United States government that's completely autonomous, located in her basement and other locations. She had servers also in the State Department. That's the only illegal thing that took place. What they've done is they've criminalized going to the supermarket. What's happening with Trump Jr. is they've said, well, wait a second. Did you go to the supermarket to buy carrots and groceries and vegetables? Well, what day did you go to the supermarket? What time? What did you buy there? Well, we went in the morning. We bought a whole bunch of produce. Oh, okay. We're going to write that down. Okay, this is part of the probe. All right? You went to a Russian supermarket. And we're going to remember that answer. So you better be careful. Okay, there's no problem. We can go to a Russian supermarket, a Korean supermarket. You can go to a Middle Eastern supermarket. You can go to any supermarket you want in the United States of America. Not a crime. You can buy whatever the heck you want in that supermarket. Not a crime. And then what they've said, so they've criminalized something that's not a crime, and they've said, well, wait a second. You stated that you went to the supermarket, a Russian supermarket, in the morning. We found out it was 1 p.m. You're in big trouble, buddy. What do you have to hide? What do you have to hide? It's 1 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. It's a Russian supermarket. It's not an American supermarket. What's the problem? If he met with an attorney about the Magnitsky Act or about adoptions or about anything else, if you have an attorney who met before and after with Fusion GPS, there's a reason for that. Almost certainly that meeting was part of the overall entrapment. They already looked at Trump's servers without being bleached, without the bleach bit part. And we have 3 minutes in. We're approaching 400 people. Not bad. So the issue here is they failed miserably at trying to impeach Trump. They failed miserably at the Steele dossier, all of that. Everybody from Fusion GPS, Christopher Steele, Glenn Simpson, BuzzFeed is suing the DNC, James Comey, Clapper, all of them. The NSA is only moderately confident. The DNC never gave its computer service to the U.S. government because they were lying the whole time. They don't have any evidence. They don't even know what ads. Was it the Buff Bernie coloring book? What was it? Did I look at Buff Bernie? I wrote over 100 articles saying that Bernie Sanders was a better candidate than Hillary Clinton, and that Hillary Clinton would lose to Trump. I didn't need the Buff Bernie coloring book. I was published in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, the Cleveland Plain Dealer. I was on MSNBC, CNN. I didn't need the Buff Bernie coloring book. They don't even know what was. They don't even know. Was it Buff Bernie? Was it Jesus and Satan arm wrestling? What was it? What was it? And then they say, well, Trump's own security people say that Russia interfered in the election. Okay, but even if that's true, Trump's own security people certainly do not say certainly do not say that he colluded with Russia. Trump's own security people never brought up the Steele dossier. So the thing is, they are churning and running on fumes. They're churning the same ridiculous, stupid, idiotic talking points. And it never works out for them. Mika Brzezinski goes back and forth between saying that he has mental problems to that he worked with Russia. It's just Bill Maher in his monologue, or in his what was it? What is it? The monologue after the show's almost done. Try to compare it to like 9/11 and all these things. These people are out of their minds. They don't get that they lost because Hillary was horrible. The Democrats have zero enthusiasm. They cheated their most popular candidate at that point. Now their most popular candidate basically works for the DNC. So, I mean, there's no enthusiasm, and they've confused enthusiasm with outrage. Oh my God, you insulted LeBron James? I actually really like LeBron James. I think he's awesome. I actually don't think that Trump should have said anything about LeBron. Let LeBron just speak his mind. Trump shouldn't have said anything, but you know what? Trump did. Don Lemon, okay, it's fair game. Don Lemon works for CNN, like Jim Acosta, like all, if you work for CNN, you're fair game. But I don't think he should have said anything against LeBron, but he did, and even if that, they don't react well. They don't understand that outrage over Trump, whether he goes after LeBron James or whatever, it's not working. So they're like, oh my God, look what LeBron James built a school. Yeah, okay, great. But that doesn't mean he's above any criticism, even though I don't think that Trump should have criticized him, but whatever. The whole issue with this, and we'll get to it in detail, is that there's a whole bunch of outrage. There's a whole bunch of suspicion, and there's zero facts. There's zero evidence of a crime. There's zero evidence of collusion. Nobody was paid by Trump. There was no money trail. He wasn't giving them uranium. He wasn't getting a $500,000 speech. Nothing was taking place. He wasn't giving Boeing a big, some huge, big, like a huge deal, the Boeing deal, where Hillary Clinton went ahead and it was like a $3 billion deal she gave that she helped Boeing acquire in Russia. Everything. So, and then we get to the Clinton emails. Okay, so the whole point, what they've done also, and I talked about this from day one. Literally from day one, the second they talked about the Trump Jr. meeting, they said, well, how dare you meet with the Russians to get her emails. What they've done is they've decriminalized her use of a private server outside the United States government to store top secret intelligence. They've no longer made that a crime. That's no longer a crime anymore. Now the crime is actually speaking to a Russian individual who they have zero, they have not stated that Natalia Veselnitskaya is a Russian agent or spy. They have never accused her of that. They say she has ties to the Kremlin. Well, guess who allowed her into the country? If indeed she has ties to the Kremlin, why did she meet before and after with Fusion GPS's Glenn Simpson? That's according to Fox. So, and then you have CNN. Trump is twisting himself in knots trying to explain the Trump Tower meeting. He doesn't have to explain the Trump Tower meeting. Trump Tower meeting, president changes his story. He can change his story. This is Vox. He can change his story 100 times. It's irrelevant. He was never under oath, and he doesn't have to change his, he doesn't have to abide by any specific story. Trump Jr. did nothing wrong. I mean, meanwhile, you have Hillary Clinton, who doesn't even know what confidential means. She was using a server for yoga and for convenience. These are overt lies about national security, specifically about national security. Specifically about national security. The Yahtzee won. Preach, my brother. Thank you so much. The Yahtzee won. Thank you as always. The Yahtzee won. Thank you as always. And thank you to my super chat. You give me every incentive to keep rocking the live streams. Thank you. So thank you, the Yahtzee won. And I greatly appreciate it as always. Then you have the Wiener laptop. Exactly. Truth Decay. Exactly. Then you have the Wiener laptop. She thought C meant croissant. Exactly. So, I mean, you have the most absurd things. Then you have no suspicion. Don't notice how there's zero suspicion. Zero suspicion. I'm going to write this on Twitter right now. So if you're on Twitter, please go ahead. And zero suspicion about the Loretta Lynch Bill Clinton meeting. Zero suspicion. It was just about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. Just about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. That's it. And you have, you know, golf, Brexit, and grandchildren meeting with Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch. Zero suspicion. Zero. Hillary Clinton using an unencrypted server. Okay, the server was unencrypted. And it was for yoga and convenience. Zero, absolutely zero suspicion. And it's just this lawyer, by the way, was allowed, like I said, into the country. And no suspicion there. This lawyer met with Fusion GPS. And it's just, it says everything you need to know. This is about suspicion, ladies and gentlemen. This is about the groupthink. They're trying to find something. They've convinced themselves, and this is like, they've convinced themselves that all of this is legitimate. They've convinced themselves that golf Brexit during meeting with Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch. Secret meeting with Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch. Zero suspicion. It's all about also, like, ladies and gentlemen, it's about what you choose to be suspicious or concerned over. This is about, it all goes back to Clinton because, like I said, like, okay, so I was trying to, I guess, make the point. Clinton's emails, if indeed the Natalia Veselnitskaya, the Russian lawyer, had her emails, if indeed that means that her emails were hacked. And we know from Louis Gohmert, we already know, ladies and gentlemen, we already know that every one of her emails, aside from like 4, which is bizarre, were hacked and forwarded to a foreign entity, not Russia. So golf, Brexit, during secret meeting with Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch, zero suspicion. Hillary Clinton unencrypted server in her basement for yoga and convenience, zero. Absolutely zero suspicion from Democrats. Trump Jr. meetings on Clinton's emails from server, zero suspicion. This leads to Hillary Clinton. The crime is not meeting about the server. The crime is about how anyone on the planet could have gotten Clinton's server. So let's go ahead and we'll read how anyone on the planet could have gotten Clinton's emails. So let's go ahead and read. Fake news reporting a complete fabrication that I am concerned about my meeting with my wonderful son, Donald, had in Trump Tower. This was a meeting to get informed on an opponent. Totally legal and done all the time in politics, and he went nowhere. He didn't even get the emails, by the way. So which one is it, Democrats? Which one is it? She didn't get hacked, or she did get hacked? Because the only way that he would get Clinton's emails would be if she got hacked. Then you get, I love these, Russia tried to hack into Clinton emails when Trump asked them. It's like, oh, okay. Only they needed to be given permission from Trump. Oh my God! Like there's some secret like agreement between Trump and Putin, and poor Hillary Clinton. She did nothing wrong, and it was all about Trump. They've criminalized and they've made suspicious the most absurd things. And when there actually are crimes, what they've done is, made it, oh my God, like, how dare you even talk about Clinton's emails during a meeting with a Russian? That is egregious. Oh my God, how dare you tell a foreign country to hack Clinton's emails? Well, guess what? Clinton's emails, by the way, her yoga emails are not national security. So which propaganda spin? Which propaganda spin are they pushing when they say that he told Russia to hack her emails? Are they pushing the propaganda spin that, well, her emails never had classified or top secret intelligence? Because then I could kind of see if they were to say, well, her emails did have top secret intelligence, and Trump was saying for them to hack her top secret intelligence that was stored outside the U.S. government. Then I could kind of see like, well, okay, you kind of have a point, but it still points back to Clinton. But if it's golf, if it's golf, Brexit, and grandchildren, if it's about yoga emails, if it's about convenience, then it still points to illegal behavior from Clinton, not Trump. So I'll just read you this. So Why aren't Mueller and 17 angry Democrats looking at the meetings concerning the fake dossier and all the lying that went on in the FBI and DOJ? This is the most one-sided witch hunt in the history of our nation. Fortunately, the facts are coming out, and fast. And they are coming out. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if Jim Jordan becomes Speaker of the House, or Devin Nunes? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Too bad a large portion of the media refuses to report the lies and corruption having to do with the rigged witch hunt. But that is why we call them fake news. So they can't even. They engaged in so much fake news. They lied throughout the election about Clinton's emails, her top secret emails, how she transferred top secret intelligence from SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs. Top secret and special access program intelligence from SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs onto a server in her basement. The most egregious crime, the most overtly egregious and illegal crime, which is why me and so many other people will never stop. First of all, it will never, ever stop. This will never stop being national news, whether or not CNN focuses on it. Doesn't matter. Still national news. You have Paul Sperry, you have Judicial Watch, you have Fox, you have a whole bunch of. You have this channel. You have my writing. It'll never stop being national news. She will eventually get indicted. Now, pick a crime, any crime. It really depends. I mean, you just got to pick a crime, any crime. But it'll very likely have to do with her server. And then presidential approval numbers are very good. Strong economy, military, and just about everything else. Better numbers than Obama. At this point, by far, we are winning. And one thing that I noticed yesterday, and I found this out yesterday just during the segment, one of the segments, Obama had 800,000 manufacturing jobs grow during his tenure. Trump has close to 400,000 in 2 years. In 2 years. And that's just in 2 years. 400,000 in 2 years, 800,000 in 8 years. So, and hopefully the manufacturing jobs will increase exponentially. The tariffs didn't destroy the economy. Trump didn't lead to a nuclear war. Actually, the opposite took place. The absolute opposite has taken place. The absolute opposite. The absolute opposite. It's unbelievable. So, and then you have a situation where they're like, oh my God, he's changing a story. He's changing a story. Let's just read this. So, he's changing a story, everybody. Thank you. You're awesome. You are awesome. So Trump is twisting himself in knots. Well, he doesn't have to explain the Trump Tower meeting. Just like when they couldn't find anything on General Flynn except lying to FBI agents. That's the only crime. It has nothing to do with anything. They've criminalized. They've made a process that is supposed to lead to justice, and they've utilized it simply to hurt. Well, did you find Russian hackers? Did Trump work with Russia? No. But you know what? Michael Flynn, who is an honorable man, who should be cleared, and who should never, ever have been charged with any crimes at all. Well, you know. This meeting in Trump Tower happened in June 2016, about 5 months. So this is, hold on, this is CNN. Listen. This is like how they make everything mundane so suspicious. And it involved members of the Trump team, and then they have like the the Russians and the Americans, the middleman. It is so ridiculous. This is like xenophobia at its height. So what if there were Russians and Americans? What does that even mean? You have not, the intelligence community has not proven that Russia even hacked the DNC. They don't even know if the DNC was hacked. Mitchell Diamond. What happened to Claire Bronfman and friend Hillary? You know, Mitchell, can't really discuss all that here, but there's a whole lot written about that stuff, and I know what you're saying, and yeah, I apologize. Some things, Mitchell, I can't really discuss on the live stream. Mitchell Diamond, but thank you so very, very much. Frank, sorry, late to the game. Trump Jr. meeting proves Clinton server hacked. How? Well, because if indeed Trump really thought that he was going to get Clinton's emails, and if indeed this was about Clinton's emails and the Russians had Clinton's emails at one point, then how did they get the emails? The whole issue is the issue is not Trump Jr. The real issue is Clinton's emails. How on earth did they get Clinton's emails? They didn't ask her for it, so they had to have compromised her server. At the end of the day, of course, they didn't get the emails, but the whole hoopla and spin and smoke regarding all of it is, oh my God, somebody really wanted Clinton's emails. Or no, Trump Jr. wanted Clinton's emails. Well, how on earth would he have been able to get the emails? Because they would have been hacked. And it proves also that Louis Gohmert. See, the thing is, they probably know the spin. They almost certainly know that from Louis Gohmert's statement that all of her emails were siphoned off to a foreign entity and forwarded to a foreign entity. Which also they're trying to just cover the fact that it was hacked and then try to criminalize everything else regarding it. D. Velasquez, Hillary's unencrypted server, Podesta password phished, DNC server hacked, Diane F. employee spy for 20 years, yet Trump is the liar and security risk. Exactly, D. Velasquez, you said it better than me. You said it better than me. You said it a lot better than me. So I'll read it again. D. Velasquez, thank you. Hillary's unencrypted server, Podesta's password phished, DNC server hacked, Diane F. employs a spy for 20 years, yet Trump is the liar and security risk. Exactly. Exactly. It's the most absurd thing in the world. But let's listen to this. This is so lame.
Several Russians, too. And it was set up by this guy, Rob Goldstone, a music promoter who had friends in both camps. He is the one who exchanged notes with Donald Trump Jr., promising the meeting would involve information that would, quote, incriminate Hillary and her dealings with Russia, part of Russia and its government support for his father, Mr. Trump. Donald Jr.
Part of Russia and its government.
Replied, if it's what you say, I love it. But in the actual meeting, Don Jr. says the information, specifically from Natalia Veselnitskaya, was useless. Her statements were vague, ambiguous, and made no sense. He quickly grew irritated, bored, and eager to get the meeting over with, saying nothing incriminating about candidate Clinton was discussed.
How is this different from the Steele dossier? Well, the Steele dossier was actually purchased by Hillary Clinton, funneled through a law firm. Frank, I am 99%. The Podesta emails to WikiLeaks. Frank. Please go ahead, Frank, and everybody. You type in that topic, RT crosstalk, and I give, I think, one of the most passionate discussions ever on that, on RT crosstalk. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, as always, Frank, for your support of this channel. Thank you, as always. So what have we got? What have we received from CNN? Nothing much. Just really just an explanation of what took place.
And over again, people who were in the meeting say candidate Trump knew nothing about it. But that probably won't quiet the skeptics, because remember, Don Jr., back before all these details were known, denied pretty much everything to the New York Times, saying, "Did I meet with people that were Russian? I'm sure I did, but none that were set up, and certainly none that I was representing the campaign in any way, shape, or form."
He wasn't representing the campaign. He was going and meeting to see if there were any emails, Clinton emails, that were hacked from her server that would be incriminating. Again, the problem is Clinton's emails floating around on the internet around the world. He didn't say on behalf of the Trump campaign, "I am here." The meeting also was about the Magnitsky Act and whole other things. So, and the Russian lawyer, Natalia Veselnitskaya, met before and after. This is the best they have. This is the best they have. Then it's like, well, did Donald Trump know? Who cares? I hope he knew. It doesn't matter whether he knew or not. It doesn't matter whether he lied about knowing. It's not even illegal. What they've done is they've tried to say, gotcha, on something that's not illegal. And if it is illegal, tomorrow arrest Bill and Hillary Clinton. Well, mainly Hillary Clinton and Debbie Wasserman Schultz, people at the DNC who purchased the Steele dossier. There were no laws broken. The Steele dossier was actually purchased by Hillary Clinton and the DNC. So this is CNN on Sunday morning in his latest tweet storm about ongoing special counsel investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. President Donald Trump turned his focus on the now infamous 2016 meeting between his top and now infamous only because of CNN and everyone else. Here's why. The timeline of this June 2016 meeting, what we know, goes like this. The New York Times reports about the meeting. On the next day, the Times report that Trump Jr. was promised during Hillary Clinton. Who cares? Trump denies knowledge of the situation in the moment. But he's not under oath, so, Which brings us to the Sunday morning line. This meeting was to get information on an opponent. So we know that Trump dictated the initial Don Jr. statement. And we know that statement said we primarily discussed a program about adoption of Russian children that was active and popular with American families. Oh my God! Now they're getting into the minutia. But what did Trump know? You have a situation where Hillary Clinton Bill Clinton met with Vladimir Putin during the Russian uranium sale. You have cash flowing to the Clinton Foundation amid the Russian uranium sale. You have a whole bunch. Oh, I missed a couple super chats. Papa D, HSC traffic flow alone is gold to foreign spooks. Thank you. Thank you, Papa D. It's true. Absolutely. AKA the agenda. Say it, HA. Say, Donald J. Trump will confiscate the DNC in October. Trump will completely obliterate. Well, the Republicans will in November. Absolutely. AKA the agenda. Papa D. Yeah. So exactly. So yeah, the traffic flow. Omar Pena, MSN sounds more and more like Charlie Brown's teacher. Exactly. 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 Or was that Charlie Brown's teacher? That's okay. So yes, we have 700 people. Let everybody know this is going on. Everyone hacked the server. Everyone. And so they have nothing. So let's just read Vox. I mean, I don't really know. This was a meeting to get information on an opponent. Trump changes his story on Russia meeting. No. At first, he didn't know of it, and then he found out more information, and now it's a meeting to get information on an opponent. What's the problem? In denying reports he's worried about legal scrutiny of Trump Jr., Trump made a big shift in how, but there's no legal scrutiny. Trump Jr. did not do anything wrong. This is how, another reason how I know also, traffic flow is how, that's right. Osama, yeah. Traffic flow is how they found out. That's right. Everybody hacked her server. Everybody from Israel to China to Russia to Iran. I don't doubt Saudi Arabia did. The whole planet hacked her server. The whole planet hacked Clinton's server. And it was easy to do. And she didn't care. And that's it. And by the time Obama really understood what was going on, it was too late. He probably didn't even care at first. Then he realized, oh, wow, she has her own server. And I mean, all of this now, it's like, look at what people are saying just on Twitter. It's just unbelievable. Like, follow the Russian money and tighten your seatbelt. The Russian money? What Russian money? No other than Donald Trump Jr. has admitted to a preponderance of Russian cash. To do what? Did he sell uranium? Did he sell uranium? No. So we're not supposed to make any correlations regarding cash. But money flowing into the Clinton Foundation, you cannot make any. Breaking. Turns out Trump is just now concerned that Trump Jr. may be headed to the slammer. Right. The slammer. Really? Meanwhile, Clinton actually did. So why would he head to the slammer? Why would Trump Jr. head to the slammer? It makes no sense. They're like, well, he's going to go to jail. He's going to go to prison. For doing what? He lied. He knowingly lied to Congress about his dad not knowing. We don't even know whether his dad knew or not. So it would have to be a situation like Comey and McCabe, or Strzok and Page. That's how you would confirm whether someone lied. But see, Trump Jr., it's not even a criminal offense. And you want to talk about perjury? Apparently nobody gets charged for perjury, whether it's James Comey, James Clapper, or John Brennan. John Brennan. Trump acknowledges and defends with Kremlin-aligned lawyers. Yeah, Kremlin-aligned. Every single thing is like either a euphemism or some kind of way of some kind of semantic way of linking things. And then Michael Cohen alleges that he was present along with several others when Trump was informed of the Russians' offer. The Russians' offer? It wasn't the Russians' offer. It wasn't Putin's offer, and it wasn't the FSB or Russian intelligence. It was a middleman that they both knew, and Natalia Veselinskaya, who was allowed into the country. But they believe this nonsense. Everyone believes this nonsense. It's like insane. It's making intelligent people lose their IQ. The whole issue is that she used a server outside the United States government and transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. So it's like now they're all what they're doing also is they're probably they have nothing new. If you've noticed, there's nothing new, and this is an important point. Like, so Dianne Feinstein, like, we're finding out new things regarding the Democratic Party all the time. So Dianne Feinstein, she like, we know that she had a spy from China for 20 years. And what they're doing with this is they have nothing new. So like Trump, Paul, you just look at people, Judicial Watch, Paul Sperry, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, Devin Nunes, Louis Gohmert, all of them, Doug Collins, all of them are finding out new revelations every single day. Every single day, we're finding out new revelations about the FISA warrant, how it relied on the Steele dossier, in a drunken conversation. And their rebuttals for it are ridiculous, too. They're like, no, it wasn't all the Steele dossier, stupid. It was also a drunken conversation between two men. Well, hello. Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue. Hello. It's so dumb. They're so dumb. They don't get it. They don't get it. Natalia Veselnitskaya. Okay, first of all, she was allowed into the country by Loretta Lynch. So we'll read. That's the Hill article. DOJ let Russian lawyer into U.S. before she met Trump. So here is the Hill article. Here's the Hill article, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
I loved that car. Luckily, you had Mercury.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So, exclusive. DOJ let Russian lawyer into U.S. before she met with Trump team. So, if this is a Russian operative, why don't we go ahead and speak to Loretta Lynch? Why did Obama's, or Eric Holder, why did Obama's DOJ allow so why did Obama DOJ allow Russian lawyer? I mean, that's the issue. And then Adam Schiff is like, the Russians offered damaging info on your opponent. Your campaign accepted, and the Russians delivered. Really? Well, where's the emails? Where are the emails? Now you say you didn't know in advance. None of this is normal or credible. Notice how Schiff doesn't say it's not. They delivered the emails? They delivered SAP. So they delivered. I mean, makes no sense. See, Adam Schiff, even Adam Schiff is like, he's just falling into Trump's trap. They don't get it. They don't realize that they have nothing left. So this is like the 8th or 9th round of a heavyweight fight where you just know, one of the guys, Papa D, supercomputer tools are dedicated to traffic flow. Thank you, Papa D. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably missing a whole lot in terms of the importance of traffic flow, but NoSickle J, I agree with you on that. I mean, who is trying to contact Clinton? That's the issue. NoSickle J, Mueller's FBI protected Clinton when Russian redhead Chapman got too close, but gave Butina red card. Exactly. Red carpet access to GOP officials. Don Solomon. Wow. NoSickle J. Yes. Here's a little something, also NoSickle J, from a guy, from somebody who, if you're an official and suddenly, like, how many times has a woman like tried to hit on you if you're a guy? Not often. Perhaps if ever. Hardly ever, if ever. It just doesn't happen. Like, how often does a woman go to a man and say, hey, how's it going? What's your name? It never happens, ever, ever, ever. It doesn't even matter, like, it really, like, exactly, never. So when you are in government, and if you're in government or you're like privy to some information and a beautiful woman goes, hey, what's up? How you doing? That's a trap. It's called the honey trap. But that's the thing. It's like, it's like, John, so when you say, okay, oh my God. Hold on. I accidentally. Hold on. All right. All right. So, like, it never happens. So, there's a reason it never happens, because that's just not the way, like, that doesn't happen in, like, human behavior. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, especially if it just doesn't matter where you are in the world. Women don't usually go up to men or try to hit on men or try to start conversations with men. It just usually doesn't happen. So this whole thing with the Russian spies, it's like, Brian, AJ, please check out at Technofrog, Lawyer Mueller. Okay, so okay, thank you. Then you have so that's the thing. Like the Russian spies now, like they had like beautiful women under Obama and then beautiful women under Trump, and it's like if you are a government official, try to remember that when a really beautiful woman goes to you and she has an accent, that probably it's not really good to go any further, because that is actually a trap. Or even if she doesn't have an accent, it's still a trap. That's just obvious. That those things, it just doesn't happen. But exclusive, DOJ let Russian lawyer enter U.S. before she met with Trump team. So the Russian lawyer who penetrated Trump's inner circle. Don't you love this? Actually, I love. Wait, is this John Solomon? Yeah, I love John Solomon. So that's fine. The Russian lawyer who penetrated Donald Trump's inner circle was initially cleared into the United States by the Department of Justice under extraordinary circumstances before she embarked on a lobbying campaign last year that ensnared President Trump's eldest son. So which one is it? Which one is it? The ARC. The ARC, thank you. Handed the interview with Nunez on the 3rd, hints heavily that FSB was working with Clinton et al. To seed Trump campaign with disinfo. Wow. Wow. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. It's not a matter of if. I have friends who have been to the Dominican Republic and they love it. I have friends from New York and from Dominican Republic. Very cool. Thank you, Omar. So the ARC, yeah, I don't doubt that. Caleb and Levi. Has Mueller ever said he wants to question Veselnitskaya? That's the issue. No. In fact, Caleb and Levi, he actually said, or no, Veselnitskaya actually said, hey, you know what? Rhonda, congratulations. Yeah, I think I have like a 2-year, or 3-year, or 5-year membership. I forgot what I have. Thank you, Rhonda. Caleb and Levi, yeah, that's the issue. The issue is even Veselnitskaya said, yeah, we didn't really even even Veselnitskaya said that Mueller hasn't even approached her. So the ARC, yeah, there's a lot that, let's put it this way. There's more information. There's a lot more information on the Republican side now than there is on the Democratic side, because they keep on churning. And they're like trying to relitigate things that aren't issues, that aren't criminal offenses. So here, Homeland Security confirms special entry for Russian lawyer. At the request of the Justice Department, special entry. Wow. So this all points back to Obama. It all points back to Obama. It's unbelievable. If you have the Department of Justice, allowing Natalia Veselnitskaya into the United States, then how on earth is this a big problem? How on earth is this a big problem? Again, what is it? Like, what's the crime here? So this is the Hill. I'll go ahead and, ladies and gentlemen, Ame, thank you, Ame. Thank you, Ame. As though you are real news. When can we vote for you? Thank you, Ame. Well, you know what? One of these days, perhaps one of these days, possibly, maybe decades from now, or over a decade from now, I could possibly run for Congress. Possibly. I have no idea, though, if I would. It would not be Democrat, though. And if I ran, it would very likely be Republican. Because, I'm so into the Second Amendment now. But, Ame, thank you so very, very much. Thank you as always, Ame. Thank you. The mayor with no hair. The Yahtzee one. The mayor with no hair. Ame, I would be the mayor with no hair. I'd have to work in Kojak, vote for Kojak. H.A. Kojak Goodman. Ame, thank you so very much. As always, Ame. Thank you. Thank you. And every kind words, every kind word, like Ame and everyone here, it paints a little seed in your mind. Good things. You have to envision good things. If you can't envision good things, Ame, thank you so very much again. My goodness, thank you. You don't need it. You don't need hair. You just need brains. That's true. Ame, thank you so very much. My goodness, Ame, thank you. Thank you. That's true. Well, I tell you what, it's so easy because I used to have gel and everything. And in college, I remember I had hair here, but then in high school, I would shave it around here. It's the hair. It's I don't like the hairstyle, the focus on the hairstyle. I don't want to waste my time focusing on hairstyle. That's the thing. And I save thousands on hair gel every day, every year, every month. Sorry. But thank you so very much, Ame. Thank you. Ame, thank you so very, very, very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated, Ame. Greatly appreciated. So DOJ let Russian lawyer into the U.S. The Hill. Homeland Security confirms. So it's all leading to President Obama. But the thing is, President Obama will never, ever, ever get. President Obama will never get. He'll never get indicted or charged with any crimes. That'll never happen. That will never, ever, ever happen. So nobody wants a belly dance from me. No. Thank you again, Elmi. Thank you so very, very much. What did they say? They said HA for thank you, Goodman. HA had BSology. The mullet. One of my best friends in life had a mullet, and I consider the guy a brother, and he had a mullet growing up. And even back then, we were like, that's a mullet, you know. Why do you have that? Even back in the 90s, we knew. But it was, we called him Billy Ray Cyrus. But he was not even into country music. Homeland Security confirms special entry for Russian lawyer. So why is it? It also said Vasilevskaya won a non-immigrant work visa around the time she met President Donald Trump's eldest. Wow, look at that. Well, look at that. She won a visa. She won a visa, everybody. That's bizarre. You win a visa. Da, 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 da. You have a trip to Trump Tower to meet with Trump Jr. to try to ensnare him. Yes. Da, 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 da. You have an all expense paid to Trump Tower, where you're going to try to ensnare Trump's son. And Trump, who is vindictive and has very likely a list of people who've tried to hurt him and his family, will do all of you in. Yes. What a coinky dink. What a coinky dink. That is so weird. Natalia Veselnitskaya won a non-immigrant work visa around the time she met President Trump's eldest son. Well, that's interesting. That is a complete and utter coincidence. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's right. That is a complete coincidence. Obama had nothing to do with this. See, the thing is, it's not President Obama. It's people like James Comey who will, who'll get it. It's not Obama. You win an all-expense paid trip to Trump Tower where you can try to ensnare him and expedite the utter obliteration of the Democratic Party. Yes. Congratulations. Ami, thank you very much again, Ami. Thank you. Let's do it again. I just sent it again. It also said Veselnitskaya eventually won a non-immigrant work visa around the time she met President Trump's eldest son in New York. What a coinky dink. It's just a coincidence. So it's so ridiculous and absurd. The whole thing is so absurd. She wins a visa, work visa, right when she meets Trump. It had nothing to do with Trump at all. It was a complete and utter coincidence. Also, not only did she coincidentally meet with or get the work visa, but Fusion GPS just coincidentally meets Homeland told The Hill that Veselnitskaya was allowed to enter the United States on multiple occasions between September 2015 and February 2016. Oh my goodness, really? Lynch issued the statement Thursday that distanced herself from any government decision to saying the former Attorney General does not have any personal knowledge of Ms. Veselnitskaya's travel. Wow. Well, that's good. As long as Attorney General Lynch never knew. That's awesome. Trump, I destroy the careers of Republicans who say bad things about me. Pretty much. Hold on, this is Trump. Hold on.
I don't think so. They're talking about this blue wave. I don't think so. I don't think so. Maxine Waters is leading the charge. Maxine. She's a real beauty. Maxine. A seriously low IQ person. Seriously. Maxine Waters.
So at the end of the day, it's like what you cannot beat Trump. Like I said, like I told you, look, I have a buddy of mine that I grew up with. And this is the type of guy that if in high school he would see you and he's a big dude and he would see you and he would just tackle you. And it's like, and then we would be rolling around and then it would be like we would just go to class. Like out of nowhere, he would tackle you. And it's like tackle you to the ground. And like if you were wearing a hat, like it wasn't even like bullying. This was it was hilarious. It was almost like John Belushi drunk, but this was my buddy not drunk. This was my buddy normal. So he would tackle you to the ground. If you're wearing a hat, he'd take your hat and like throw it in the dumpster. And that's Trump. He can say and do things that nobody can do. So nobody could do what my buddy could do in high school because no other human being would get away with it. In life, even in high school, you can't just tackle somebody walking down the locker hall for no reason. But he could. And it was hilarious. There was not a mean-spirited thing. It was just hilarious. It was annoying. Sometimes you'd see him, he would like jump from like a structure or something. I'm telling you, the guy was, it would be like a lunch table. He'd like jump on you. But that's the thing. Trump can get away with that. Trump can get away with that. There are certain people who can get away with things because of their personalities. There are certain people who, because of their personalities, can go ahead and get away with certain things. And it's just that's the thing. President Trump, they can't get him. And each time that they go ahead and they say, well, what about this? What about that? It points back. Trump went simple. I'll get the FBI to overthrow him while Mueller here runs a bogus investigation for cover. Yep. Charles, thank you for this. That's a great meme. Great picture of Mueller, Obama, and Comey together. And that's the thing, like you get special entry and then not only special entry, so forget about just the special entry. Then you have Natalia Veselnitskaya. Meeting before and after with Fusion GPS. FBI official met with Russian operative before and after Trump Jr. sit down. So she gets the visa and the and meets before and after with Fusion GPS. Wow. Meets with Fusion GPS before and after. And gets a special visa right before meeting. That is so amazing. What a coincidence. And that's the thing also, like, it's so overt, like it's ridiculous. It's so overt and it's so stupid. Like, you'd have to be really stupid. You'd have to be really, really stupid not to kind of see what's going on. And they're sloppy too. That's another thing. They're really sloppy. It's not like they're like doing this they're doing this in a way where it's sustainable. Like, all of this is going to be exposed. Like, all of it is exposed. So wow, Russian lawyer meets with Fusion GPS before and after meeting and gets special visa right before meeting. What a coincidence. Totally not planned by Hillary Clinton, Obama, DNC. Before and after key meeting. It's just so silly. Like, all of this is so silly. And the plausible deniability, there isn't even plausible deniability. There's just deniability. It's like, well, they denied it, so it's okay. You can't go ahead and, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. If it's a Democrat, well, you asked and they answered and that's it. Alexander M. Gonzalez, Bernie always attacks Trump and he never responds. That's true. But, I mean, at this point right now, you have to wonder how much power Bernie has. Whenever Clinton kind of opens up and, leaves the woods, Clinton's in the woods doing yoga. She likes the woods. She likes yoga. What is Clinton like? Clinton is an outdoors. Hillary's an outdoors person. She's very healthy and loves nature. So hold on, Hillary Clinton, woods. Clinton says she's ready to come out of the woods. Hillary Clinton, yoga. Turns out what happened is Hillary Clinton got into yoga. Wow. That's scary. Hillary Clinton demonstrates alternative nostril breathing. Wow.
It seems like you've been doing a lot of yoga.
Yes, I have. And alternate nostril breathing.
Well, I wanted to
Have
ask
you tried that?
Page 27 in your book, you talk about alternate nostril breathing.
Yes.
What is that?
Oh, shit. What do we have? What is this? What is this? Alternate nostril breathing?
And there you give me a demonstration.
Well,
of that?
I would highly recommend it,
Okay.
You would highly recommend it to what? To steal special access program intelligence?
Well, I would highly recommend it. You know, I mean, you're supposed to shut your eyes. I don't want to shut my eyes on on national television. But you do hold and you breathe through one and you hold it and then you exhale through the other and you keep going. I can only say, based on my personal experience, that if you're sitting cross-legged on the yoga mat and you're doing it and you're really trying to inhale and hold it and then
your husband inhaled.
Have a long exhale.
I know everything about inhaling. I didn't exhale though. I didn't breathe. I didn't inhale it though. That's right. Why waste time with Crazy Bernie? What's Trump got to gain from it? Ethan Long. I agree with you. Ethan. I agree with you. Ami, thank you again. Ami. My goodness, Ami. Thank you so very much as always, Ami. Ethan Long. I agree with you. So this is absolutely amazing. This could be even better than the Gomerization video.
It is very relaxing. So I don't know if you can do it in the middle of hurricane coverage, but maybe some other moment you can try it. I found it quite helpful.
I'm sure you did.
It seems like you've been doing a lot of yoga.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So let's listen to this about 1,000 times today, okay? Hold on.
It seems like you've been doing a lot of yoga.
Yes, I have. And alternate nostril breathing.
Well, I wanted to
Have
ask
you tried that?
Page 27.
Alternate nostril breathing. Can you believe this crap? Alternate nostril breathing. This is amazing. What does this even mean? Alternate nostril breathing.
It seems like you've been doing a lot of yoga.
Yes, I have. And alternate nostril breathing.
Well, I wanted to
Have
ask
you tried that?
Page 27 in your book, you talk about alternate nostril breathing.
Yes.
What is that? And dare you give me a demonstration
Well,
of that?
I would highly recommend it.
Okay.
I mean, you're supposed to shut your eyes. I don't want to shut my eyes on national television. But you do hold and you breathe through one and you hold it and then you exhale through the other and you keep going. I can only say, based on my personal experience, that if you're sitting cross-legged on the yoga mat and you're doing it and you're really trying to inhale and hold it and then have a long exhale, it is very relaxing. So I don't know if you can do it in the middle of hurricane coverage, but maybe some other moment you can try it. I found it quite helpful.
I bet you did. Wow. Then Hillary suggests women didn't vote for her because of the men in their lives. I thought it was Russia, Bernie Bros, sexism. Then now it's relationships. Wow. It never ends. Yoga power poses? What is this?
Are we doing this?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. She's going to talk about her power poses. Oh my God.
Quote, empty, Hillary Clinton is finally giving her take on 2016. Opening up to people, Clinton shares just how she's moving on after her devastating presidential loss to Donald Trump. When asked
Steve
how she
Donkey.
coped with all the what ifs, Clinton admits, as an American, I'm
What
pretty
is
concerned,
this?
but as a person, I'm okay. I've never been one to sit around and mope. I'd rather stay busy. That's what helps me most. And yes, Chardonnay helps too. She goes on to say that she still follows current events closely because she finds it difficult to unplug. But what's her reaction to some of the latest headlines, including Trump's DACA bill and Charlottesville? Well, she says, quote, "I'll be honest, it's pretty disheartening. There are times when all I want to do is scream into a pillow."
Scream into a pillow. Yeah, right. Gabbers. If HRC had to employ techniques such as alternative nostril breathing to calm down, we are very likely we are very lucky she's not president. Exactly, Gabbers. So Ame, thank you, Ame. Gabbers. Yes, I do agree with that. Patricia Marino, she's the worst advertisement for doing yoga I've ever seen. Pretty much. Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you. Patricia Marino, thank you. Wow. Wow. So, I mean, it's like Alexander M. Gonzalez, Trump doesn't respond because he fears Bernie 2020. Alexander M. Gonzalez, Bernie always attacks Trump and he never responds. Trump doesn't respond because he fears Bernie 2020. Alexander M. Gonzalez, I respect you 100%. And I thank you for even listening to me since, you know, I have my viewpoints. Okay, again, what is with this? Oh, whatever. I'm not going to feed the trolls. Okay. Ethan Long won't shut her eyes on national television. Is she afraid someone will chuck a shoe at her? Probably. Steam Donkey didn't. Oh my goodness. Steam Donkey. Ethan Long. Yes, I agree. Ami, thank you. So, again, this is all so ridiculous. It's just. So let's see what else. So Trump actually tweeted something else right now. Anarchy breaks out in Portland with mayor's blessing. Wow. Wow. A vicious mob targeted the ICE office and even a food cart. The police followed orders to do nothing? What? Along the trolley, this is the Wall Street Journal. That's insane. That's insane. I am Sylar. Hello, I am Sylar. The exoskeleton under Hillary's face clothes is actually a mecha yoga suit powered by Chardonnay. Powered by Chardonnay and hate, pretty much. That is well stated. I am Sylar. Well stated. Excellent. Chardonnay and hate pretty much describes Hillary. It pretty much describes I'm with her, to tell you the truth. Because when 53% of white women voted for Trump, and most of hashtag I'm with her is white women, that's an angry bunch of women who didn't vote for Trump when the majority of white women did. It's hilarious. I am Sylar. Thank you. So let's go ahead. This is insane. So anarchy breaks out in Portland with, I mean, it's like, along the trolley tracks behind the U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Field Office, a biohazard cleanup crew works under police protection. It finds used needles in buckets of human waste simmering in the 100-degree heat. Well, that's what Hillary calls a good Sunday. Just that's, oh my God. That's another way of saying Hillary 2016. Oh man, that's so sick. It finds used needles and buckets of human waste simmering in nearly a 100-degree heat. That's actually Hillary's yoga routine. Oh my gosh. Ew, the smell of urine and feces fills the block. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, enough. This is not the channel. Please. God. Can't you just go to another channel? A Sojourner. Make Eric Amon. He deserves it. You know, Eric, here. You are 100% absolutely. Eric, H526. I finally learned how to use it. Where's Eric? You are now. I put add moderator. Eric, H526 is now a moderator for your channel. Yay! Yeah. Eric, you are a moderator now. If you could believe this, I was like hiding a user, and I actually made that user for a second the moderator, which was like, oh my God. Then I had to unmoderate, then I had to hide, so anyway. So let me DM Eric now. My man Eric, you are now a moderator. So I feel like I've accomplished something big. So A Sojourner, you got me to do the right thing, A Sojourner, and I think it only could have been you. It only could have been the wisdom of A Sojourner. You got me to do the right thing. Respect Circus Authority. So it finds needles and buckets of human waste shimmering in the nearly 100-degree heat. The smell of urine and feces fills the block. That's another way of saying blue wave. Blue wave is coming. Wow. That is nasty. People are doing heroin and like pooping all over the place. That is so nasty. For more than 5 weeks, as many as 200 people had occupied the site to demand ICE's immediate abolition. Well, where were they with Trump, with Obama? Oh, that's right. They were just pooping in regular toilets and using the needles out, not there. Ethan Long, were the protesters allergic to porta potty? Ethan Long. I know. What's going on? Is it that hard to use a porta potty? They get nasty. I know they can get it real nasty, but they're gone now, but a community is left reeling. 38 days of government-sanctioned anarchy will do that. A mob surrounded ICE's office in southwest Portland. Wow. You have a generation of 20-something people. You have a generation of 20-something people who grew up never understanding semantics, the context, the nuance within conversations, within debate, never seeing that you are not a quote unquote Nazi if you disagree. Never really understanding the Holocaust, because now everyone's a Nazi who is just like a Republican. Never, not knowing what the word genocide means because they use it in every context. It's so ridiculous. You have a generation of 20 or 20 something who, when they turn 30, some of them might read books and then maybe realize how stupid they were. Thankfully, though, like 5, 6, 7 years from now, you're going to have people who are more like people who watch this channel, young people. Of course, Eric, I should have made you moderator a long time ago. So if you see anyone, Eric, you don't think is, just you kick them out. So it's like, I just don't understand this adherence to feces and stuff. They love feces and needles. The protesters, like, especially, like, they just use the porta potty. Why go ahead and poop on the ground? A mob surrounded ICE's office in Southwest Portland, June 19th. They barricaded the exits and blocked the driveway. This is a Wall Street Journal article, opinion commentary. They sent guards to patrol the doors, trapping workers inside. At night, they lay down the street, stopping traffic in Critical Junction near a hospital. Police stayed away. At this time, I am denying your request for additional resources. The Portland Police Bureau deputy chief wrote to federal officers pleading for help. Why? Hours later, the remaining ICE workers were finally evacuated by a small federal police team. The facility shut down for more than a week. Signs called ICE employees Nazis and white supremacists, which they're not, because they worked under Obama and they were apparently not Nazis or white supremacists. Others accuse them of running a concentration camp. Again, they've never read a book on the Holocaust, so they don't know. This is the 20-somethings. Or who knows how old they were. I'm assuming 20-something. And dependent open borders and prosecution of ICE agents. You're going to get crushed in the midterms because you've let the complete loonies out of the insane asylum running the Democratic Party just because you cheated Bernie. And Bernie gave voice to these people also because it's like he wanted to break up too big to fail banks. He wanted to bring home soldiers. Like, he's not talking about any of that stuff. None of that stuff is spoken of. None of that stuff. This is nasty. All along, vandals wrote the names of ICE staff, encouraging others to publish their private information online. Federal workers were defenseless. That's why you need the Second Amendment also. Like, I told you all, I bought my, well, I just picked up my AR yesterday, Smith & Wesson. I already have an AK. I have a CZ97B. It's a 45 ACP. And then I have my Smith & Wesson 500, which isn't really practical, but it's awesome. So the thing is, it's like, obviously you don't want your personal information out there, but if someone tries to get you, like, I know where you live, well, then you get to the 7.62 or the 5.56, whatever I'm in the mood for that day. Like, they don't, the biggest, like, it's just so. Michael. Oh my God, I don't want to destroy the block. All right. right, so let's continue. So, federal workers are defenseless. An ICE officer who asked that his name not be published told me one of his colleagues was trailed in a car and confronted when he went to pick up his daughter from summer camp. Unbelievable. Later, people showed up at his house. Unbelievable. Another had his name and photo plastered, but you're not changing. Another, plastered on flyers outside his home, accusing him of being part of the Gestapo. You're not changing the laws. You're venting your hatred. You're venting your political ideology, which states that you're actually doing something noble by hurting. This mentality, it's like this. It's millennial mentality. I don't know if it's a millennial mentality. It's actually a much newer. What if you're younger than millennials? Younger millennials. So I would say younger millennials. So I'm Generation X. And younger millennials, they don't get that their ideology helps people like Richard Spencer. Their ideology is the reason Richard Spencer and the white, quote unquote, white nationalists and all that stuff exist. That's the reason. It's the way. The Richard Spencer wouldn't have his ideology if it were not for for young millennials who are outraged by everything, who believe that harassing and intimidating is noble because then it doesn't do anything, but it makes them feel good. It doesn't change any laws. It vents. They want to condemn. Their only goal in life, like the thing is, the ideology of younger millennials is to condemn and judge and to feel good about themselves because they are part of a crew that condemns and judges. And that's it. If you're not condemning, if you're not judging, if you're not stripping away humanity from people you dislike, Steam Donkey! Steam Donkey! I cannot say these things. Steam Donkey! Thank you, Steam Donkey. Thank you. Na, 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 na. Thank you, Steam Donkey. Thank you. But the younger millennial mentality, this, pooping on the streets and trying to dox people and all this, it's not, and even the mentality of, we're going to meet them in the streets. Like, when you get older, it's more of a youthful, testosterone filled. When you get older and you just get a little bit more in tune with life, like all paying bills and trying to accomplish things in your life and having a family, just doing things that are important. You don't want to go ahead and confront every crazy Nazi or neo-Nazi or white supremacist or Klan member that marches. You're going to say, you're probably just going to let the crazy person, racist, just march, and that's it. Because if they don't march on that street, they'll eventually march on another street. You're not going to stop hate by preventing somebody from vocalizing their thoughts. Adam Schiff just said he has evidence Eric colluded with Russia, Eric Trump to become... Adam Schiff, Eric colluded, impeach Eric H526. Amish Space Force. You got that from the Goodman dossier that was purchased by Rand Paul. Amish Space Force. Amish Space Force. All they want to do, the younger millennials, is condemn, is castigate, blame, condemn, judge, because they've been taught that racism is not just a flawed mentality. They've been taught that racism could be defeated by bullying the racist, by attacking and verbally assaulting the racist. They were never taught that, you know, even racist people can sometimes eventually can realize that, wow, hating people is stupid. It's a waste of time. So younger millennials have never met anyone who was racist, who then became normal and not racist and loved people. Because then they've been taught and indoctrinated that there's this oppressor and oppressed. That's it. The paradigm is oppressor and oppressed. Nobody is an individual. Everyone's a category. Everyone's a label. Everyone's a political label and a social label. And now everyone's a euphemism. And what they do is it's like Kafka's The Trial, but with their own semantics. They've gone ahead and what they've done is they've trivialized serious philosophical issues, like how do you defeat hate? How do you defeat hate? How do you end racism and hatred? You don't do so by firing people. You don't do so on Twitter. That's why I used to get in arguments with people online all the time when I was on the left. You're enabling. You're sympathizing. They know I was Jewish, so they couldn't call me a Nazi. Only the most vile people would, knowing I was Jewish. But they say, you're enabling. You're a sympathizer. And everything is like in the extreme. It's just, there's no nuance. There's no nuance. The mob set up camp behind the building, where harassed journalists and banned photography. The Open Borders advocates also erected an 8-foot wall around their site. And so the Open Border advocates also erected an 8-foot wall around their site. That's so hilarious. Oh my God. I walked through and saw young children, including infants, in squalid conditions in 90-degree heat. Every American flag defaced, anarchist and communist flag were unsoiled. That is the definition of Jonestown. You let your kids, at least leave your kids out of it. Oh my God, enough. You're just going to get hidden from the channel. What's the point? Eric, yeah. Giving the timeout. What's up? I don't even give timeouts. I just hide from channels, so that's just how I do. How do you do that? Why don't leave the kids out of it? Leave the children out of your political statement. And here's a little news flash. Young millennial protester. If you don't have a babysitter for the child, you don't have to put the child in 90-degree heat with poop, with your fellow protesters' poop all around. How about just not protesting that day or that week? That's like straight up child endangerment. Papa D, Nana D ringtone is our man. Flint President's phone. Alexander M. Gonzalez, no, I don't. Alexander, I don't want to brush off anyone, but you have to understand I've changed my views. Perhaps you too might change your views, or you might stay with your views. Whatever your course is, I respect you. They erected an 8-foot wall, which is hilarious because they don't want a wall. This is the Wall Street Journal. I walked through and saw young children, including infants. You can, that's not good. You need ventilation. You need for a little baby. You cannot have like there's sudden infant death syndrome. You need ventilation. There's SIDS. God forbid you can't put a child, an infant, in 100-degree weather with like the smell of feces everywhere, all for to harass ICE agents. You're seriously part of a cult at that point. You need to put your children first. You can't go ahead and do that. And then if you don't like borders, why put an 8-foot wall? They don't even know hypocrisy. That's also the problem. Michael Costello, smugness and snobbery are the faux progressives' most annoying traits. Yes, Michael Costello, and believe me, I have, and you've stated it better than I can. But also, ladies and gentlemen, what it is. And Michael Costello, you've touched upon this and you brought this up, and you hit the nail on the head. What happened to empathy? Millennials destroyed empathy. They don't even care. They don't even know what the word means. They don't even know what the feeling is. They've destroyed empathy. Millennials on the left have absolutely destroyed empathy. They've absolutely destroyed the ability to try to feel what another person's feeling. So if there's a conservative who wants a wall, perhaps that conservative was, who knows, knew somebody who was attacked or hurt or killed by an undocumented immigrant. Fine. You can make the case, well, that's no reason to want a wall still, but empathize with the person. Don't dehumanize the person. Don't call him a euphemism. You don't have to automatically go to white supremacist, racist. I know a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, Trump voters are racist. There are not 60 million racists in America who voted for Trump. A good percentage of those people voted for Obama. They have destroyed and utterly destroyed empathy. They're frightened by speech. I've been saying they're a cult for a long time. They have no clue how to defeat hate. They have no clue how to defeat racism. Everything is The View, or Bill Maher, or this mentality that like if you just circle the wagons and make everyone you don't like into this racist ogre, then you'll win. And they're doing it again, and there's just, so let's just go ahead and I'll continue. So ICE facility, 79-year-old landlord visited his property. Wow. The political powers in the city of Portland have stopped the police from doing what they normally would do. They called a black officer traitor and House N. They shouted that they knew where the officer lived and published more addresses online. Again, if you publish an address online of a guy or a woman who has the 5.56 or the 7.69, then what are you going? So then you're not going to have a good time. That's another thing that the people are oblivious over. Like, they don't get the Second Amendment pretty much protects you from being doxxed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all, if you can, let's have I do have a Bernie voter who still watches this channel. Let's just all be respectful. I know that there's debates that are heated, but let's be respectful. So let's please be respectful to Alexander. And that's it. That if everybody can do that, please. Okay. I'm actually still impressed that I have a hardcore Bernie supporter even watching me, but let's please, if you can do this for me, H.A. Goodman is asking everyone to just please be very respectful, even if you disagree with Alexander. Just please respect him. And anyway, let's move on. So, the Hakes family, which owns the Happy Camper food cart across from the street from ICE's office, responded to the statement with incredulity. The mob terrorized our family and forced the business to close. How does that help anyone? Text message to 21-year-old daughter, Brianna. Just saw a drug deal. After a member of ICE mob spotted her selling breakfast burritos to federal officers, the situation deteriorated. Call me immediately, Brianna wrote, after being accused of supporting the pigs and child deportation. There was also Obama, according to New York Magazine, handed children over to traffickers. This is according to a Senate report and New York Magazine. Again, these people are oblivious. Like, also one hallmark of like extreme left of young millennials, that they, like, 1 year to them is basically ancient history, 500 BC. She said people wearing masks threatened her. I mean, that's the thing. If you start wearing masks and you start doing all these things, I mean, Randy Glary, a 52-year-old artist and longtime resident, was photographing the camp when he said a group of occupiers knocked his camera into his face. Charles Williams, a 62-year-old man who lives across the street, said someone threatened to stab him with an AIDS-infected needle. Oh my God. Hashtag blue wave. Oh my God. I'm obviously being facetious. Oh my God. And the police did nothing. This is the Wall Street Journal, ladies and gentlemen. And like, what are you doing? Needles are a weapon. Like, what are you doing allowing just needles to... That's just so nasty. It's just so nasty. Ethan Long, nuances of white supremacy. That's the thing. You're talking about a cult. You're talking about a cult who they hurl and they just throw that's just nasty. From his balcony, he saw thugs begin masked street patrols, other brandish sticks. But the thing is, like, what happens when you have the alternative? Other people bringing sticks or other people. But see, the thing is, like, that doesn't fly in LA. They could fly in Portland, but there are too many street gangs in LA with firearms. So, like, there are way too many street gangs with weapons. And the second, like, anybody like that would come into, let's say the ICE office was located in downtown LA or South Central LA or Inglewood or any place, perhaps where there's, there happens to be certain street gangs that, that but they're in that area. It's their turf. If that took place, it would not end well for the millennial protesters. I can tell you, it would not end well at all, because the street gangs, like, they don't care about like the politics of young millennials. And I've met a number of gang members in my life, and like, they were good people when I spoke to them. Good people. It's nothing like, and I know that they would not like, if they saw the like masked people, like, you go into certain places in LA and you're masked, and then you have like a club, that is not going to that will not fly, because they have firearms and they use firearms, and they don't mess around with like sticks or knives. So LA street gangs, like, they don't mess around with sticks or knives, and like, so I mean, that doesn't fly. That wouldn't fly in LA. That type of thing would not fly in LA. Lisa Leonard, a 53-year-old disabled resident, said occupiers hit her on her head. Oh my God. Disabled her electric wheelchair and lifted her in the air when she complained about loud drumming. Oh my God. What is wrong with this? She called police, who took a statement but made no arrests. Unbelievable. See, that's the thing. I mean, this would not fly in Los Angeles, in any part of Los Angeles where it's kind of a working class area, or, an area where there are gangs. It would not fly. There would never in a million years would that happen, because then it's like, it's on. This is insane. Hard bastard. Hard bastard. The party of urine and poop, but he used different names. LMFAO. Hard bastard just tweeted me. Oh my God. I just don't understand that. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Like, why? Like, how do you how do you do that? This is how Nixon won. But see, the thing is, like, HB is the man. Steam Donkey. Steam Donkey, I can't read your things, but you're saying some interesting things, but I can't. The thing is, you can't do that stuff in really urban locations. Like, you can't do that stuff. You can't act in that way, because like the places that you claim to represent, like, you're down and you're, a sojourner. FYI, the hepatitis virus can live for years outside the body and on those needles. Ugh. So by the way, can MRSA, the HIV virus can only survive about 10 minutes. That's right. A sojourner. Ugh. That's the thing. Like, what are you doing with needles? A sojourner, thank you. What are you doing with needles? You're not doing anything. They're so stupid. They're helping Trump. Like, they're expediting the building of the wall. They don't get it. like our poop and our urine, feces, and used needles will help save immigrants. Like, no. And if you go to an immigrant community and you're like a millennial trying to be down with immigrants, I can tell you right now in Los Angeles, you will not have a good outcome. It will not be a good outcome. It will be a very bad. Don't do it. Note to future millennials who are trying to be down with the cause, and don't go to any immigrant community in LA with sticks and with if there's an ICE office or if there's like a government building. You're not going to last long. It's not going to be a fun sight. Because there will be people, locals, young people too, within either gangs or crews or whatever, and they will not allow you to build any like fortress or use your hypodermic needles or poop on the ground or whatever. It's not going to work that way. So they just did, and that's the thing. Like, they don't get real life. That's the thing in LA. Like, in LA now, like, I'm telling you, like, you cannot drive 5 minutes without seeing a homeless person. But I think this, and this is not socialist or whatever. I say that California should simply build like apartment buildings for homeless people and have them funded by the state. In this way, you don't see like people pooping. Like I drove the other day, I saw a guy like, urinating. And it's like, go just build these apartment buildings and put them in downtown and have them run, like make them, like clean and run by the state, and, like kind of like a halfway house or some kind of, like a facility where they can get back on their feet. If they're addicted, give them some kind of counseling. If they're just literally just really hard up and, they have no place to go, like just give them some job training, mental health, have it taxpayer funded, because you're going to have it taxpayer funded anyway. They're pooping all over the ground, which anybody would do. Any human being would do if they don't have a house. It would be it's still at the expense of taxpayers. My thing is that you're still at the expense of taxpayers. So at this point right now, I say build, because it's a real, like, it's a big problem in Los Angeles. Like, yeah, I say just go ahead. That's true. That's true. A lot wouldn't, but a lot would. It's true. They do have shelters, but I don't think the shelters, like, I don't think you could stay indefinitely. And I don't know if all the shelter, there's not enough shelters in LA to actually house all the people. So build more Starbucks. But everything is like, it's just, there's no discussion about solutions or real discussions to problems. It's just labeling everybody. Everyone's a label. And the thing is, like, they think that they're pushing for Medicare for all, but they're not. The left is not going to ever get Medicare for all in the way it is right now. Because number one, you cannot have single payer or Medicare for all if you have a neoconservative foreign policy or regime change. That's the thing. You cannot have You cannot have a foreign policy that sends Americans off to war all the time and then say, well, we need regime change. So that's the issue. You need to bring home soldiers from war, and you need to have a message like Bernie Sanders had that resonates with conservatives. That's why Democrats are going to get destroyed politically. They're going to get destroyed politically. So Democrats are gaining ground in the House. No, they're not. Enthusiasm, resources, and unpopular president are giving even long shots hope. No, they're not. It's becoming more and more likely that this fall's election will go very well for Democrats. No, it won't. You have a hashtag. You had a hashtag Demexit. Now you have a hashtag walk away. And you have Trump approval at 50% at the Rasmussen poll. So, I mean, how is that even possible? Democrats are now favored in 201 districts if they can win all of those, but they won't. If they can win, so this is interesting. Look at the Cook Political Reports ratings. Democrats, this is Bloomberg. Democrats are now favored in 201 districts. If they can win all of those, they're not going to win all of those. I mean, that's just statistically not possible. Plus the 2 Democratic-held toss-up seats, they'll only need to win 15 of the 22 Republican-held toss-up seats. And that's ignoring the other 22 lean Republican and 29 lean likely Republican. All of this, like this likely and lean stuff will be influenced by if the economy is good. The economy is good, and Trump's approval is pretty good compared to where Obama was in one poll. He's better. So this is Democrats' strength in hand in seeking control of the House, even if odds of a blue wave are diminishing. So odds of a blue wave, this is in June, and the Washington Post already stated the blue wave, the odds are diminishing, but they need a blue wave to win. Democrats always lose when there's low voter turnout because Republicans will turn out to vote, especially in midterms. And that's the issue. Republicans will turn out to vote. Steam Donkey. Instead of houses, create a homeless camp and give them each a porta potty to live in. Well, but the homeless camp thing, yeah, but then, I mean, it's still the issue. The same, I think you need running water. You need, like, places where they can shower. I mean, this is a public health issue. This is a real public health issue. You need places where they can shower, places where they can brush their teeth, places, they can, running water, go to the bathroom, a toilet. Vet for 45, HA, what do we do when we have Repubs not doing anything to help POTUS? And Kamiet, what real choice, Democrat or Dem Light? Third party rising. I would say at this point right now, I kind of learned the hard way with the third party. Mag Air, good evening, Mr. HAG. Thank you, Mag Air. Thank you. Vet 45. I kind of learned the hard way with a third party. Like the Green Party did not do anything but help the establishment in the Democratic Party. vet for 45. Right now, you just got to, I think, hope Jim Jordan becomes Speaker of the House and vote Republican down the line. And ensure you just get the Democrats have completely checked out of reality, checked away from reality. So I would say that's a great question. I would say just, vote Republican, and what's taking place in the Republican Party is they're leaning more towards Trump. They're eventually, because the third party on the conservative side would be Libertarian Party, but I wouldn't want that for if you want. I mean, I would much rather see Rand Paul win, because then the Libertarian Party actually, in a way, helped Hillary. Well, I mean, what was that guy, the Libertarian? Hold on, I forgot his name. He didn't know Aleppo was in Syria. He didn't know what Aleppo was. He didn't know what was taking place. Gary Johnson didn't know anything about the Syrian, and that had to have been by design. But Michael C. Thank you, Michael C. So, I mean, like, Democrats really, they just have absolutely nothing now. And the whole "not my president" stuff is stupid too. It didn't work when President Obama was president. It's not working now. It's pretty stupid. Well, he's not my president. Who cares what you think? You can have your own imaginary country. It's just so stupid. Like, that doesn't help. Democrats have all these strategies that don't help them because they have no enthusiasm, which is really what it comes down to. They have zero collusion. The day Trump told us there was attempted collusion with Russia, it's not with Russia. Natalia Veselnitskaya was allowed into the country. Hello? It can't be collusion with Russia when the DOJ allows Natalia Veselnitskaya into the country. And she got a special visa for just that time. So it's really stupid. Like, it makes no sense at all. Oh my God. A song containing offensive language was removed from a newly released Guns N' Roses box set, but can a band wipe a stain off its own historical record? A band should not. A band should not. This is like the modern day Taliban. If you want to go ahead and use euphemisms. Since they're going ahead and using insane euphemisms or correlations. Then the New York Times, the Go-Go's taught a generation of power, the power of the girl gang. No, the power of a girl band. Their secret formula, 3 words, they kicked ass. But no, their secret formula was that they didn't say there's a power structure that's preventing me. They just went ahead and did it. And they were awesome. That's their secret formula was. They never let anything stop them. They never said, oh my God, this power dynamic. The patriarchy won't allow me to play in a band. They just did. And anything that took place, any whether it was difficult, they went ahead and they just persevered and they were awesome. No, it's not. It's not illegal for a campaign to get such help from power. Washington Times. President admits. Nice try. This was about Clinton's. Unencrypted server. Obama DOJ allowed so it's just so stupid. They're now going to make a big issue about this. They're now going to make an enormous issue about this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Trump committed a crime. What was the crime? Nobody knows, but let's keep saying it. And then that's the thing. Like, even if it was to get Clinton's emails, that's irrelevant. Vet45, HA, I adore you and admire you. You think before offering an answer in your opinion. You're one of the best here on YouTube. Thanks. My daughter loved shout out. Thank you, Vet445. Thank you so very, very much. Very kind of you, very kind. And I just appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much for watching. And it just feels great. It feels great having you watch and having everybody watch. It's just such good vibes. And, it's just awesome. Like I said, every day on the left, it was horrible. You're horrible. You stink. You're the worst. You're a fraud. You're a hack. That's on the left. I becomes Trump supporter and Trump voter, and it's like everyone's awesome. Thank you so much, Vet445. Thank you for watching. A Sojourner. We need to start giving South African farmers refugee status here. They're in danger of genocide. Thank you, A Sojourner. Thank you. Papa D, thanks for relentlessly beating your head against the wall. Good to know we are not alone. Seriously. Papa D, thank you. Papa D, thank you. And Papa D and A Sojourner, thank you again. It's Asa. You thank A Sojourner for Eric H526 becoming my. I should have put Eric H526 my moderator from the beginning. I should have made him moderator from the beginning, from the very beginning. But A Sojourner, thank you for that. Papa D, you're 100% right, and thank you. I appreciate that very much. And Papa D, I appreciate that. And, I appreciate that. Somebody said, you mean like with a cloth? When I said the New York Times is like, they're even trying to go ahead and rewrite. They're even trying to rewrite history. Like, they're trying to, even the Go-Go's are like, in the Go-Go's and Guns N' Roses are no longer safe. It's like, you're not going to rewrite history because we lived through it. So, you know. Bruce Smith, Don Jr. meeting proves there was no previous Russian back channel since nothing happened at the meeting. Case closed. Exactly. Exactly, Bruce Smith. Better than I could have said myself. Dog Speak. It's not much, but I appreciate you. Thank you, Dog Speak. It is much. It is a lot. And I do appreciate that very much. And I thank you so much for your kind words. Vet for 45, Dog Speak. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Dog Speak. Thank you. That makes me feel great. Bruce Smith. Yeah, exactly. And also, there was no back channel. You're right. 100%, which is a great point. And, oh, by the way, there was no need for a back channel because he didn't need. Look, let me just read you this, okay? Clinton has a solid electoral college lead. We'll leave it at that. Like, well, we'll continue, but here. Clinton has a solid electoral college lead. So much for Russian interference. So, Dog Speak, thank you. Bruce Smith, thank you. So, this is, so much for Russian interference. So, Clinton has solid lead in electoral college. Trump's winning map is unclear. This is the New York Times. Okay, I'm reading the New York Times. Okay? So, okay, so Bruce Smith, you're 100% right. So let's go ahead. Clinton has solid lead in electoral college. Trump's winning map is unclear. Now, Trump eventually won 30 states. And let's look at the 2016 electoral map. $306 to 232. So he did very well, obviously. Over the last century, over the last few days of the race, Donald Trump intends to travel all over the country. He's going to Florida, North Carolina, Nevada, Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and even Minnesota. It's an impressive schedule, but it may reflect the biggest challenge facing him right now. It's not clear exactly where and how he could win. So these are the people who, and no offense to the author, he's a brilliant polling expert. No offense to the author, but this is the New York Times, who is basically stating that, oh, there's going to be a blue wave and da-da-da, look at all this, da-da-da. I'll continue reading. Hillary Clinton has a consistent and clear advantage in states worth at least 270 electoral votes, even if the race has undoubtedly tightened over the last few weeks. But even that understates the challenge facing Mr. Trump's campaign. It's not at all obvious where he has his best chance of breaking through, making it harder for him to concentrate his efforts over the last days of the campaign. So Styx was like actually picking states. And in 2015, I stated she would lose. In 2015, H predicted. And numerous times, you know how I repeat myself? I would repeat myself every single article. She's not going to win against Trump. She's not going to win against Trump. And then it just goes on to talk about how, Clinton has no chance, da-da-da. I mean, Trump has no chance, da-da-da. All these things. It's just, what's unbelievable is that what's unbelievable is that there's no shame. Like the Washington Post or the New York Times or no one says, oh, we were really wrong. Like, this was really bad. How did we get wrong? How did we get so wrong? It's not, they're saying, oh, he made a false claim. He didn't use Gallup data to make the claim. So independent droid, thank you. On Twitter, they're even fact checking things he never said. He used that was the Rasmussen poll. so he was obviously referring to the Rasmussen poll. He was obviously referring to the Rasmussen poll. He was obviously referring to the poll that gave him a 50% approval rating. And that's actually the poll that was pretty accurate. So the fizz. If we know who HA is, do we call him H Nanon? Exactly. H Nanonymous. Non-anonymous. Yeah. Thank you, the fizz. Wow. That is interesting. This is quite interesting. Wow. Looking at a graphic here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going to call it a segment. I will be back a bit later on. We'll have another great segment. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in to my super chat. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you so very much, everyone, for just being awesome and amazing. This was an important segment. Share this segment for anyone who thinks that, the Trump Jr. meeting is like, oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all amazing and wonderful. Have a great, great day. I'll see you later. I love you all. Thank you so very, very much. And have a fantastic, wonderful Sunday. And we'll have a great, great super live chat later on. Papa D! Vaselnatskaya. I mean, Don. Papa D. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Have a great, great Sunday. I'll see you soon. Thank you.